Example number 23. Find all values of x for the given function where the tangent line is horizontal. F of x equals the square root of x cubed minus 12x squared plus 36x plus 4. The first thing we're going to have to do is find a formula for the slope of the tangent line, and then we're going to have to set it equal to 0. So we've got to find f prime of x and set it equal to 0. So the first thing I will do is write that square root with a 1/2 power. So I'll get x cubed minus 12x squared plus 36x plus 4, and now it's to the 1/2 power. I will use the power rule and the chain rule to find my derivative. So it's the power 1/2 times the base x cubed minus 12x squared plus 36x plus 4 to the power 1/2 minus 1 times the derivative of the base 3x squared minus 24x plus 36. The next thing I'll do is I'll go ahead and subtract my 1/2 minus 1. So that exponent for the x cubed minus 12x squared plus 36x plus 4 will become a negative 1/2, and that's still times 3x squared minus 24x plus 36. Last thing I'll do is I'll make a fraction out of this. So my 1/2 is going to be a 1 on top and a 2 on the bottom. And I don't have to write the 1, but it won't hurt to write it. This expression with a negative exponent is going to go to the denominator, x cubed minus 12x squared plus 36x plus 4, and that's going to be to the 1/2 power. And then in the numerator, the factor 3x squared minus 24x plus 36 is going to be times that 1. Now we have to set this equal to 0, but first let's talk about when a fraction can be equal to 0. When you have a numerator over a denominator, the denominator can never be 0 because division by 0 is undefined. So that denominator is never going to be a 0. So the only way a fraction n over d can equal 0 is if the numerator equals 0. So I don't need to do anything with that denominator. I just need to take my numerator, 3x squared minus 24x plus 36, and set that equal to 0. So this is the formula for the slope of the tangent line where it is 0. So I'm going to factor out a 3 because that's a common factor. So 3 times x squared minus 8x plus 12 equals 0. I could divide by 3, and that's going to leave me with x squared minus 8x plus 12 equals 0. So this is a quadratic equation, and there are only two ways that you could solve this, and that would be either by factoring, which would be easiest, or the quadratic formula. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to factor it, because I'm looking for the factors of a 12 that will give me a negative 8. So I'm going to need a negative times a negative to give me a positive 12, and a negative plus a negative that will give me a negative 8. So negative 1 times negative 12 is 12, but it adds to negative 13. So that's not it. Negative 2 times negative 6 is negative 12, and that adds to negative 8. So these are the factors I need. So my factoring becomes x minus 2 times x minus 6 equals 0. We set each factor equal to 0. So add 2, x is 2. Add 6, x is 6. So these are the two places where the slope of the tangent line will be 0. So the final answer for example number 23 is x equals 6 and 8.